Desperate times call for desperate measures. What's the one thing that my mum would want in a photograph more?
Me! That's what she wants. She wants me in the picture.
Oh.
Take a picture of me! Me!
Good morning, everybody, and welcome not to the Lake District, but to Boscastle in Cornwall. This morning, I'm at the lookout point overlooking Boscastle Harbour, and I'm here to get a photograph for a very special person. If I'm known for anything, it will be for photographing the Lake District, but over the last few years, I've done a lot of photography here in Cornwall, particularly seascapes. But after more than 10 years, that's coming to an end. So I was born and raised in Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire, and once I was big enough and old enough and moved out of home, my mum moved here to Cornwall, and she's lived in Boscastle on the hills outside Boscastle for well over 10 years now. But she's now decided that she wants to move closer to family, so she's moving to live close to us in Cumbria. And so this is actually potentially going to be our last visit to Cornwall for quite some time. Now, whenever we come to Cornwall, I always try and make the effort to hook up with my good friend Julian Baird, who lives about an hour 50 minutes away. And he's come here this morning to give me a hand with this special project. So the first video I ever saw of yours was filmed over in that direction, towards Penelly Point.
And funnily enough, the first video I saw of yours was also over there.
Over there.
Over there, on Penelly Point, yeah.
And that was, I mean, how many years ago was that?
It's got to be nearly 4.5, 5 years. I mean, I've been doing this for about 5 years.
Yeah, so I think I filmed it in June, and we're here in June, so it would have been about 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago, and I think that was my first ever video that did more than 1,000 views.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think some of them might have been mine. I genuinely really enjoyed it, because you know, you watch a lot of YouTube channels, you watch a lot of content, but yours is different. I don't know why, but you just seem quite an engaging guy. Obviously, I've got to know you better, and I'm wise to the fact now. But I think there was this guy in shorts and reflective shades, talking about photography. But yeah, you were already there producing engaging videos, and I think that's what kind of appealed to me.
And it was, you say that we watched a lot of videos then, but I mean, there's a lot more content.
Oh, there's even more now.
It's changed so much in the last 4 years.
It's changed so much. There's a lot of people out there producing content.
Yeah.
So,
do you think it's got harder?
For who?
For the creator. For us.
No, it's hard to say. I mean, it's always been hard. It's hard work. But is it hard to get noticed now? I think it's a lot harder to get noticed now, because it's a lot more of a saturated market. There's a lot more people doing it. A lot more people have got good stories to tell. Their adventures to share. It's a lot more accessible now. A lot more information about how you can actually do it. So, you know, more people are doing it. More people are sharing their photography adventures. So, yeah, it's hard. It's harder to get noticed. I think it's easier than ever to actually create content with the equipment and the tools that we got. But you know, I think if people are setting out to try and become bigger in YouTube, I think that's harder than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as is the case whenever I try and do these commission videos when I have to get a shot, the conditions are not brilliant. We cannot see anything. Visibility is down to well below 100 metres. And so I'm probably just going to have to try and find something to use as foreground interest and exaggerate the fog by having no background at all. The problem with doing these types of videos is that you really have to get a result, and it's almost impossible this morning. There's just nothing. We can't see anything. And somebody once said that you can always get a shot. So that's what we're going to try and do. So we've got some rocks here, and they're acting as foreground for some more rocks in the background. you know, I'm going to say now, I don't think this is my best work. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and what's the one thing that my mum would want in a photograph more than a view of Boscastle?
Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes, until winter comes, until winter comes? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder.
Finally, the fog is starting to lift, and we've now got some views to photograph as well. I found this little area here that kind of frames the bottom of the view across to the other side of this small bay. We've got some beautiful green hills, green fields, and then the fog just sitting on the top of the hill there, and you can just see a few little houses poking through. So finally, we're starting to get somewhere, and I don't think this is too bad.
The stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are.
I think we should have got something there that we can use, so we're going to pack up our gear, we're going to head off, and I'm going to explain why I've asked Julian to come here today.
It really makes me wonder.
We've made it back down to the cars, and now Julian is going to give me a hand to print that image off so that I can give it to my mum before I leave today. Now, Julian is the king of printing as far as I'm concerned on YouTube. And he's brought his printer with him. It's in the back of his car, and he's also bought an AC power adapter so that you can plug it in to the cigarette lighter on his car. So we're going to now print that image off. I've just edited it on my laptop. I'm going to print it off so that I can give it to my mum. So this is the print that Julian has done for me. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm so pleased with it. You just don't get a feel for the detail when you look at a digital image. The detail in this print is absolutely beautiful. I'm so pleased with it. So I'm going to give this to Mum as a memento of her time in Cornwall, and she's going to hang that on her wall in Cumbria, and she can look at that and remember her time here. I'm really proud of us. I'm really proud of myself for getting a shot in those conditions that looks this good printed. It really was against us. But I'm going to give this to Mum. I'm going to do this in private. There are some things that are not for YouTube. And all that leaves me to do is to say thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the support that you've given me in the last 4 years. Goodbye.